Okay, this is Mario once again with MIA Microflight, and these are projects that I'm working on for my grandkids. Uh, I'm at that stage already. 23 years have passed by in a flash since I established MIA Microflight. I started, doing little micro helicopters at a time when nobody had the little micro helicopters. And from there, I pulled out all my ultralights, microlights, hang lighters, and some other products that I had. Many years ago, I had already established those as something that I wanted to produce whenever I established my company and my microflight. Very small company, but it's been around for 23 years in the midst of giants that have been making radio control products. So I decided with the idea that I would be making things that I could not get a hold of in the RC market, things made with durability and longevity in mind, and so that's how my products have grown, and how I'm able to do that to this day. I still get orders from basically from word of mouth from people that have had my stuff. They come back and order that, and this is not to boast, not to make myself any better than anything that's out there, but I do like unique things, and I like durable things. So uh, this is about for personal reasons. Personal meaning, this is not for sale. I'm just building these things for my grandkids, and just I've gone nuts here. This is nothing compared to what I have on CAD already. But I'm building trees. I have little buildings. I have dioramas that I built on CAD that I still need to print, and that was the reason also for me wanting to get a larger volume 3D printer. And so the reason why in my other videos you'll see my recent videos you'll see me talking about the other machines. So I still have two machines that I'm waiting for that are supposed to come in from the same company. Two trees that I'm really liking what they did with one of their machines. So um, I decided to just get those so that I can build these things a lot faster. I do have Anycubics that run parts, but my Anycubic i3 Megas are just 220 by 220. They're very small footprint machines. I had those for since the company came out and started selling them. Very nice machines, but having a larger footprint allows me to do these things a lot faster. And as you can see, the trees, each one of those trees can take up to 2 3 hours, to print. Like this tree, for example, this is done in two parts, two halves, back to back on these bases here, so it looks a little more full. But some of these are just a single flat piece back. If I were to join those two, it would look more like this. So it's more full on both sides. But some of these are just one half. And so, like I said, I've been going nuts here designing these things. These, by the way, are downloaded from Thingiverse. This is a track that I downloaded from Thingiverse, and I don't think it came with these connectors, so I ended up making my own connectors, as I explained in some other videos. These are my own connectors that I did it for this purpose, for interconnecting this particular track, but also for interconnecting the wooden blocks. I had boxes of wooden blocks that I bought. I mean, I went nuts and bought a bunch of wooden tracks from various manufacturers, but unfortunately, none of them are to the level of interconnectivity and precision as these tracks right here, with my connectors here. And so that's the reason why I decided to do this as a full 3D printed track here. This by no means is in its final stages, although it looks pretty decent, pretty cool, in my opinion. I still need to do more connections here, and I have this all designed on CAD so that I can manipulate it on CAD a lot easier than I can do it here physically. And I did that before I had all these parts printed so that I can, like I said, manipulate and have an idea how I wanted the track to look like. This track is actually going to be symmetrical, meaning right now it's symmetrical in mirror image. So whatever's on the left is on the right. But what I ended up doing in CAD is I went and flipped this 180 degrees here so that this bridge right here comes around, and there's another bridge here, and then it interconnects with a diagonal here, and goes back in a eight shape here back into the track, and it just keeps going that way. And it's That way, it's more interesting, and it allows the little cars to continually go through with no interruption. And I can put two or three different different intervals of for positions, cars that I bought. I have like three sets of these little locomotives, like that one right there, and you can run these things, in multiple sets all at the same time without having them interfere with each other. Uh, Very nice little locomotives. The other one that I'm going to show you in a little bit in my other track that I designed myself is very similar to that, but it has a remote control, which is really really cool. And this, I when my kids were little, this is for my grandkids. Like I said, when my kids were little, I used to get into projects like this with my kids themselves. So I'm coming back full circle. Now with my grandkids, which is it keeps us in good spirits. I think not only us, but people, parents, grandparents that may engage with their kids in a similar way. I think it's a healthy way to keep yourself engaged and healthy in spirit. Because when the spirit is healthy, when when the heart is in good spirits, the body follows in same format. And so it's for me at least. I look at life that way. It's very important for me to be be in good spirits, number one, and then and then the body follows. So thank God, we've been healthy that way, keeping ourselves away from away from all the negative things that are in this world, and just try to be positive in engaging, with our families, with our friends, with people, in a positive way. And so I think that's very important in this crazy world that we live in. And I think that's where my energy is coming from when I'm showing these things. I'm not doing this, to boast or to show, these things as, something better than somebody else. I mean, there are tons of videos that show this, and I've seen many of them. People really, really going nuts with these things. And perhaps they're doing it for the same reasons. And if they are, kudos to those families, those people that engage with their families in this way. It's a very healthy way of engaging yourself with your family. If you're fortunate to have family, because that's also a blessing. When we have the extension of ourselves is our families, is our kids, it's their kids, it's our grandkids. So blessings to to everybody that is fortunate to be in that way, and those who are not fortunate to be that way, blessings equally. Uh, Only God knows how He attends to each individual person in their own way. But I don't want to get too deep into that, because we can get very emotional. I get emotional sometimes, when I think about these things, because I think deep inside people are good, and we're good, but we also have also that negative side that tends to gets us down, from time to time. But I think the trick in life is to maintain yourself in good spirits, like I said, in that way. So the heart, when the heart is happy, the body follows. Anyway, enough of that. Getting back to this, as I was saying, I've been going nuts with these things, and this is, like I said, is downloadable from Thingiverse. These connectors are mine. Um, the bridges are also mine. I designed this bridge for another track that I did, but I did it with the same height consideration of these blocks. I did this for the wooden tracks. Then I ended up mounting this on this one from that's downloaded from Thingiverse. Once I'm done with this, I believe I am going to share all these files, that my own parts, on Thingiverse. So if you want to do this, you can download these from the other person that downloaded this. It's a very nice track, the way that person designed it, and my compliments to that person and people that are doing this, and giving these things so that people can download for free. So I think I have contributed before to Thingiverse with my own parts, 3D printed parts, but I find it a little bit difficult, when I upload those things, is I'm getting older. So I'm getting older. It's a chore, to convert the files and upload it. But I think I am going to make an effort and download these parts. If people like this video, I would like to hear from people, comments, and if you can share those in those videos. I don't get many videos, and I'm not going to get into the mechanics of that because I think there are reasons why systems do curve videos from people. But I'm not concerned about the views. I'm just concerned with that. If I can get one solid comment from one honest, good person, that to me is very valuable. And so I just thought I'd mention that. And if I can get one good comment, I will release the files. I will take the time. It is an effort, like I said. At my age, I'm getting older, and older, and every day it's a little bit harder to breathe and to do these things. But you know, I. I have no interest in selling these things, and I rather just if people like it, I rather just give it away so that they can use it for personal use and not for resale. We have to honor people that are putting these things in on Thingiverse. And as I said in another video, these things are, I'm being very honest here and saying this was downloaded from Thingiverse. I have made my own version of this by reverse engineering that part, and I only reverse engineer it because I did not have I only had the STL file from this artist that created this thing, and so I decided to take measurements of that and create my own. And so, what the difference between that one is this one's my own, with the measurements taken from this to kind of simulate the same dimensions because I don't want to change that. This track is working beautifully with these connectors that I designed for that, but I wanted to have a little more aesthetical appeal to these bridges, not just flat pieces. And so I ended up doing this one with a brickwork detail on the sides of this what this hill, which becomes you can make that into a bridge or whatever. But you can see the difference here. This track is has a little bit shallower slope than this one here. This one's a little more defined. This one is a little more concave, and that's because I don't have the actual CAD file, to bring it into my CAD program and modify it. So I had to basically replicate that part from scratch. So this is my part based on that. The connectors, all the connectors that you see here are definitely mine. The trees are mine. The bridges are mine. The supports that I created for this, which you don't see that many here, but there's one right there. Those are mine. And so I've been adding kind of my own flair to this set here. This will have the bridge here, the same bridge. And the way I did these bridges, my son-in-law was asking me, how did you get this to curve like that? Did you print it curved? No, this is just two flat pieces. These were printed flat, two of them, and then just a brace here. And this is done with a flat head self-tapping screws. I drilled little holes on these parts, smaller than the screws, so that they can grab, when I assemble these things. And so that's how that's been done. So let me show you the other track that I'm working for my other grandson. My granddaughter has been playing with this because she lives here in the state, but my grandson, who was out of state, I'm designing a little track so that I can send it to my daughter, and they can play with him at least, over there. And then when they come here, they can all play here. We can all play here because this is not just for my grandkids, but it's for the family, so we can all engage in this type of thing. You can see, this is what I've been doing. It's just trains, something that I never done. I've never had any interest in model trains, but as I'm getting older, it seems to be a natural transition in getting involved with these projects, especially when the kids are involved. Okay, so getting back to this is my own track, and let me explain a little bit about this track. This track is considering the height and the amount of time that it takes to print. Mainly the timing is an issue here when you print these parts. I decided to go low profile on this track, and I created my own with this slot so that I can minimize the timing that it takes to print these tracks, and also to create a track that's easier to it takes less space to store. It's easier to remove, and it's lighter, and it takes less material this time. I mean, so it's got a lot of benefits from many respects. So that's what you're seeing here. These little cars, are cars that I bought from. Along with the remote control. I don't have the locomotive here, but maybe I should get it. Okay, we can see. I just got this locomotive here, and you can see how these things, these things look, and they work. They're really cool toys, really nice toys. I have been designing my own little cars. And I may even do a locomotive, my own locomotive, something a little more my style. These are great, by the way. I'm not doing my own cars because I find these inferior. These are just great. They're great designs. They're smooth, which is great for little kids because you don't want any sharp edges on any of the toys here, and you got to make it safe so they don't put it in their mouth or choke with them. So there's a lot of thought that I'm sure these companies that make toys for infants, they take into account, and myself included, because the first thing I think when I design anything is safety first. So anyway, let me show you how this works here. It's very similar to the other one, and it's working just fine because the dimensions are basically the same as those wooden tracks that you can buy. So you can probably mix this with wooden tracks. I haven't tried that yet. And I'm still printing these on the Two Trees Bluer Plus machine, which has got a larger footprint. And when I get the second one, I'll be able to print a lot faster, a lot more of these little tracks here. Okay, so basically, you get the gist of that, and this is the control, which goes forward and backward, and turn forward and backward. You can even run these, flat on a flat table. It's got a little, and you can turn on the lights. It's a great little controller. So I actually ended up buying. I actually ended up buying a few sets of this because I was going to take the electronics of this and put it on the larger, more scale track that I showed in some other videos. That'll be for my enjoyment mainly, because it's a little more in scale. It's another project that if I have time, I'll build that in a bigger board and put it in the garage somewhere. And so when my kids come, my kids and my grandkids, we can all enjoy it as well. But this is the track. These are the same connectors that I designed for the other tracks, except that I made these a little bit with a little more consideration in the shrink ratio. I found that from various filaments, you get different shrink ratios depending on the brand and the type of filament. This is all PLA, but on this one I made these a little bit easier to insert. The other ones that I showed in my other track are a little more tighter, and so this is easier that even a little kid can install this. The other one I had to install them because stronger hands and it's more precise fit. These are a little bit looser fit, not really loose where they're gonna fall off, but they have a nice snug fit on these connectors. And so I'm working on I'm printing a lot more of these, and the way I printed these is I have a curve. I have an 8-inch section, a 4-inch section, and then from the 4-inch section I have a third of that and a fourth. So you're looking at a 8-inch, 4-inch, 4-inch, somewhere around 2.75 or something like that, and then this is 2 inches. So this, I think, is 2.75, 2 inches, 2.75, 4 inches, and an 8-inch track. I have a curve here, two curves. So these make a quarter of the pie. And yeah, so this is what I've been working on lately. And when I'm done with this, I'll probably set up the track similar to the other one, and I'll do another video, and you guys can see how that looks like. So this is Mario once again with MIA Microflight. Some fun stuff I've been working on. Just wanted to showcase that. Thanks for watching.